Hi, I'm 7 News consumer anchor Diane Lee. All week long, I've been bringing you stories about people in the upstate who have found missing money with the state. The average payout is about $500, but every once in a while, there's an amount so large it is jaw-dropping. And in this last installment of Claim Your Cash Week, you'll meet a retired Greenville man who made a very smart investment back when he was in college.
Many of us dream of retiring early, but for Carl Sykes in Greenville, it was a dream come true thanks to some wise investments.
It's the way we were raised, invest and look for the long term. So
Pretty smart.
yeah,
Worked out.
Yeah, and it worked out very well this time.
That's an understatement, but before we get ahead of ourselves, let's go back to 1987 when Sykes was a senior in college and decided to buy some General Mills stock.
It may have been $100.
Really?
Yeah, and then General Mills just split and divided and made so many more shares, and it was, 30 years ago.
It wasn't until a friend of Sykes convinced him to check for unclaimed property that he discovered not just the missing stock, but how much it had gained. The $100 investment had grown to more than $100,000 in those 3 decades.
When I found out, it was like, oh my gosh, I need to follow up on this. I need to claim this.
If you want to check online, you can use the national site missingmoney.com to check just about any state or the unclaimed property page specific to South Carolina. If you have a claim, the Treasurer's Office has tried to simplify the paperwork.
There are different tiers, and of course, the more money it is, you're going to have to do a lot more work for $1 million than you would for $300. But we thought through that. We tried to play the game.
It's important to note there is no cost to search or claim these funds, so don't use any website that tries to charge you for these services.
So here it is. This is the Tacoma.
If you haven't already guessed, Sykes used the money to swap his old minivan for his first ever new truck and still had extra to pay off debt.
We were fortunate in a good choice of a stock.
Yes, 100%. It's like buying Apple back in 1980.
I wish we had done that too. We didn't. We waited until about 2000 to buy Apple.
Which, by the way, was still pretty lucrative. Now, if you think that Carl Sykes got a big check, the Treasurer's Office says the biggest claim ever in South Carolina was paid out in 2010 for $1 million. No joke. Once again, to search your name or anyone that you know in South Carolina, go to the Treasurer's Office website, click Unclaimed Property in the upper right corner, then click Search for Unclaimed Property, and type in your last name and first, and then press Search. If you see an address that you've had, click Claim and follow that process. And you can find a link to that site and all of my Claim Your Cash stories in my exclusive Consumer Report section under the News tab on WSVA.com. Taylor?